Hey PsychTubers, welcome back to my channel. In this video I am gonna be talking about the 7 signs you're depressed, not sad. Depression can be subtle, but there are signs of this condition. A depressed person is someone who is perpetually mopey, sad and crying. Symptoms of depression vary from person to person. That is why someone can be posting photos on Instagram and still be in a major depressive episode. Depression can change someone's behavior until that person is almost unrecognizable. It's just in your head. The chemical changes in your brain during a period of depression can affect the whole body. Intense sadness and hopelessness are only part of the equation. Depressive episodes range from mild to severe but can also disguise themselves as everyday habits and emotions you wouldn't necessarily equate as being depressed. 1. Aches and pains. Unexplained aches throughout your body, stomach aches, back aches without a clear physical cause may relate to depression. Although there isn't a clear reason for the cause of these, a decreased pain tolerance may make such pain more noticeable. In some cases, pain may be the first or only sign of depression. Pain might make depression even worse, which may then increase the pain even more, creating a vicious cycle where one feeds into the other consistently. Depression causes tension headaches. These are a type of head pain with mild throbbing, especially around the eyebrows. If you find yourself making frequent visits to a health doctor, only to be sent back home without an actual diagnosis, chronic headaches and stomach pains without a physical illness can be potential signs of depression because something bigger may be happening. 2. You're irritable and aggressive. Anger can be a symptom of depression, though not seen as one, especially in men. When you're depressed, you experience lingering irritability and sadness, which heightens over time. Such emotions become overwhelming with time and begin to affect your sleep patterns, eating habits and ability to get a good night's sleep. Consider the things you do routinely, like waiting for coffee. If you find yourself getting agitated about the things you do normally, then this might be a red flag that something else is brewing under the surface. Men are socialized to be comfortable with aggression while women are not. Women's behavior may tend to reflect emotions such as sadness or crying. Sometimes you might find yourself sobbing over the tiniest things. Small issues can feel enormous when you're depressed. Instead of handling issues as you normally would, you may get aggressive more easily and then have trouble closing the floodgates. 3. Mental fog. Depression causes difficulty in concentrating, making decisions or remembering. When a person is depressed, the brain releases excessive amounts of stress hormones known as cortisol. Long-term exposure to these levels can slow the production of new neurons. As a result, the brain may blur or alter memories. Consider your daily routine activities, for example waiting for a train at a train station. If you find yourself super agitated about things you would normally shrug off, this might be a sign that something else is the root cause of the anger. Some amount of stress is normal and can lead to productivity. However, the pervasive mental and emotional pressure can lead to chronic stress that can negatively impact one's life. It can affect concentration, reduce ability to cope with daily challenges, and have an impact on health, leading to high blood pressure and heart attacks. Stress is often triggered by life events and often resolves when the events subside. Depression can start without an obvious trigger to events from the past. 4. Fatigue. Depression can cause insomnia, which causes fatigue. Healthy sleepers may also experience low energy during periods of depression. Taking longer to do tasks, moving slower or responding slower in conversations is a sign of depression. Fatigue is categorized into 3. 1. Physical fatigue, which is low energy, sluggishness and weakness. 2. Emotional fatigue, which is boredom, apathy and lack of motivation. 3. Cognitive fatigue, which is slower thinking and decreased concentration. There's pandemic fatigue, and then there is carelessness of your well-being. A lot of people have been fatigued by the pandemic and how long it's been. It is easy to dismiss depression as a side effect of dealing with pandemic pressure. Ignoring the social distancing measures, changing your punctuality habits can all be indicators of depression and not just tired of the pandemic restrictions. 5. Sleep changes. A depressed person can stay awake all night because of worrying too much. On the other hand, lack of motivation to leave bed can cause a person to spend the day sleeping. People with depression may feel exhausted even if they get 8 hours of sleep. It is easy to blame your lack of sleep on a late night at work or your other reasons to stay awake. But persistent lack of sleep can be a sign of depression. Some people might oversleep while others may find it difficult to fall asleep and stay asleep due to unending thoughts. This kind of situation can result in exhaustion, which can cause feelings of anxiety and frustration. It might also worsen other depressive symptoms you might be experiencing. 6. Weight changes. People who are depressed experience a loss of appetite. You may be eating more than usual or have no appetite at all. This is caused by a loss of interest in food and fatigue, which causes a significant weight loss. Others may also find comfort in food. Depressed people end up eating junk food because of the need to escape negative thoughts. Others may engage in binge eating. Because we live in a society that values diet and culture as a sign of control and discipline, it's an easy sign to overlook. Dietary changes depend on the individual because of our temperaments and preferred ways of coping. You may be someone who is more inclined to seek comfort in food if you have more depletion of serotonin levels. If you're about eating healthy and all of a sudden you find yourself eating takeouts and junk foods, such a diet can also be a sign of depression. Changes in your eating habits could be a sign of depression, as some people don't eat when depressed while others reach out for comfort foods in order to soothe the emotional pain of depression. 7. You work a lot. Yes, we all have hectic schedules, but someone who is depressed might work longer hours than normal. One of the studies found that workaholism usually occurs with psychiatric disorders like depression. There is a line between a workaholic and someone who uses work to mask their depression struggles. Keeping busy is one of the ways how depressed people avoid painful issues that may be contributing to their depression. Also, overscheduling yourself is another way of filling up your life so that there isn't room for thinking about things you may not want. Since we live in a society that values productivity, outcome and deliverables, our culture doesn't value being as much, and so another sign that might get overlooked is working a lot of hours. Please watch my next video on 5 signs. It's PTSD, not BPD. Also, please remember to like, subscribe and hit that notification icon for more mental health videos. Thanks for watching.